Yeah, welcome along to the transfer show. And speaking of number one targets, when we're talking transfers, the only two men that we want to speak to, Dharmesh Sheth and Mark McAdam. Great to see you guys. For the next hour, we're going to be discussing the moves that are on, the moves that are off, and those that could perspective. If you go from Manchester United to Barcelona, that's a step up that he hasn't deserved. Yeah, Mark, really strong words there. What did you make of what Sheringham had to say?
Well, Teddy Sheringham's one of those iconic Premier League players and was a part of a hugely successful era, not only at Tottenham, but of course Manchester United, and played, you know, well into his 40s. I remember watching him play for Colchester in his 40s. So when a player of his calibre, his knowledge, experience, sits up and says things, you take notice. He's been there, done it and got the T-shirt. No question about his words being very, very powerful. And if that's how he views the situation, then he, as a former Manchester United player, absolutely has the right. When we look at the current situation, we know that Barcelona are interested in Marcus Rashford, and he is their number one target at this stage for that left-wing berth that they're looking to recruit for. There's been still no formal offer from Barcelona to Manchester United. However, they do remain interested. I think the most positive and powerful thing that Barcelona have on their side is that they know that Marcus Rashford is desperate to play for them at Barcelona, and he's made no secret about his desire to head over to Spain. The problem will be finance, and that's where Manchester United...
His salary?
Look at, yes, his salary, and Manchester United...
For 4 instalments. Now, the feeling was it was going to be one or the other, Conceição or Sancho, but the information that we're getting is that a deal for Sancho to Juventus has not been ruled out, but it is thought there would have to be departures at Juventus for them to be able to fund a deal for Sancho. Now, significantly, Marseille are in talks with Juventus over a potential deal for Timothy Weah. Now, that could help Juventus fund a deal for Jadon Sancho. Talks between United and Juve are open, as are talks between Juve and Sancho's representatives. As yet, there's not been an agreement on either. So there hasn't been an agreement on a transfer fee, and we talked about Rashford's wages. Sancho's on big wages as well. So Juventus remain in talks with his representatives over trying to find an agreement on the personal terms. It feels like the more problematic one would be the personal terms. And then is around Garnacho would suggest that any deal, he would prefer a permanent deal to a Premier League club, so he wants to stay in England.
OK, so Manchester United trying to offload some players, but in terms of bringing a player in, Bryan Mbeumo still has not walked through that door, and we know that Manchester United are very interested. What's the latest?
People keep saying, what's going on? I
feel like I've asked this question more than any other this transfer window.
It's becoming a little bit of a transfer summer saga, isn't it? We know that Manchester United are interested. Their second offer was rejected. They remain confident that they can get a deal over the line for Bryan Mbeumo. We're expecting to see a third bid, which would probably be a final bid for the Brentford man. Manchester United would love to get this wrapped up and sorted before they go on their pre-season tour of the USA as well, and they very much want Bryan Mbeumo to be a part of that squad that travels with Ruben Amorim. The key thing is the fee and, most importantly, the structure of the payments. Brentford have always been quite staunch in that we want £65 million and we want the majority of that paid up front. So therefore, Manchester United are either going to have to be a little bit creative or they're going to have to find a softened stance from Brentford to get this deal over the line. I feel like I'm a broken record. I keep saying it feels like it's close. It feels like it's close.
Okay.
But until it feels Manchester United lodged that third bid, we're still just waiting for those moments.
Just off the back of that, I think Brentford will wisely look at Mbeumo.